There are thousands of books coming out in 2026. A vast number of these books will be incredible titles. Some will even become internet sensations. But you can't read them all. Sacrifices must be made. So, for this video, I scoured the internet for every book coming out this upcoming year across the large spectrum of fiction genres, and then narrowed down that list until I only had the top 10 most anticipated fiction of 2026. There are new titles from authors we already know and love. There are titles that contain brilliant new concepts. And lastly, there are titles that are absolutely stunning, drawing our intrigue with their eye catching covers. If you'd like to read any of these top 10 most anticipated fiction novels of 2026, the links are in the description. And if you'd like to stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel and or my Substack. Now, without further ado, let's get into the first book. At number 1, we have Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston, published January 13th. This is a mystery thriller. Ashley Elston is most known for writing First Lie Wins. Here's a little glimpse into Anatomy of an Alibi. Two women need answers from Ben Bayless. His wife, Camille Bayless, believes he's hiding something, and Aubrey Price believes he has information on the night that changed her life a decade ago. The two decide to help each other find their answers. Aubrey pretends to be Camille so Camille can spy on Ben out from under his watchful eye. Everything goes wrong when Ben is found dead the next day, leaving only one woman with an alibi. The second book in this list is And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison. This one is, of course, a romance, and it is published February 24. Perfect timing. If you're a romance lover, you have probably already heard of B.K. Borison. She's written titles such as Love Light Farms, Mixed Signals, Business Casual, and In the Weeds, as well as her recently published Good Spirits. And Now Back to You is an accompanying novel of what is probably her most famous title, which is First Time Caller. Here's a glimpse into And Now Back to You. Jackson Clark and Delilah Stewart are meteorologists forced to work together on a project. Jackson likes the organized side of the job, while Delilah likes the adventurous side. They must learn to work together so they can cover the historic snowstorm coming their way. The third book is No Matter What by Cara Bastone. Cara Bastone? I don't know how to pronounce her name. I apologize if that was incorrect. This is also a romance and it's coming out March 3rd. Cara Bastone wrote Ready or Not and Promise Me Sunshine. So if you recognize this type of cover art in its spectacular glory, it's probably because she also wrote those other two. And I don't know who the cover artist is, but whoever they are, they deserve a raise because all three of these have absolutely stunning covers. No Matter What follows a couple who are already married, which sets this book apart from almost all other romance books. So I'm so excited to see what Cara Bastone's unique spin on the formula that makes up romance novels is going to be with this one. Roz and Vin survive a life-changing accident, but they don't survive unscathed. Their relationship has fallen through the cracks. As Vin prepares to move out, Roz hopes to improve her artistic abilities. When Vin offers to be her male model, she accepts, which forces the two to take another look at each other. The fourth book is Innamorata by Ava Reid. Innamorata will be published March 17. This is a fantasy novel like Ava Reid's other books, including a book I actually have not read yet on my TBR, A Study in Drowning, which is a series. This book is absolutely stunning with its sprayed edges and its inside art. And look at this book without clothes. It's so gorgeous without the dust jacket. Absolutely stunning. Ava Reed's new book, Innamorata, is going to be similar in that it will have sprayed edges and inside art, but this is going to be a part of a different series. It's the first book in what will be a duology. Ava Reed is the author of, like I said, A Study in Drowning, but she's also the author of Lady Macbeth and Fable for the End of the World. Here's a little glimpse into Innamorata. An island with 7 noble houses containing the secrets of necromancy are destroyed by a conqueror. Those that survive are Marozia, the heiress to the House of Teeth, and Lady Agnes, her cousin. Agnes must arrange the betrothal of Marozia and Leoprind, heir to the conqueror's throne, so they can take back possession of their magic. Her mission is simple, but her growing interest for Leoprind threatens everything. The fourth book is by one of my favorite authors, TJ Klune. His newest book is We Burned So Bright. I'm so excited for a new book of his to come out because I have read In the Lives of Puppets, which I don't own, but I loved that book. Probably my favorite of the books I've read of his. Under the Whispering Door is another incredible one, and The House on the Cerulean Sea. We Burn So Bright is similar to his other books in that it is fantasy, and it will be published April 28th. When an elderly couple, Dawn and Rodney, find out a black hole is coming toward Earth and will destroy everything, they decide to take a road trip to tie up loose ends. On the way, they reflect back on their life together, the good moments they experienced and the terrible ones. They meet new people, people who deny what's coming, those who have accepted it, and many who are making the most of their last moments. This is another one by one of my favorite authors, The Shippers by Catherine Center. And this is, of course, a romance, and it will be published May 19, just in time for the upcoming summer. She wrote last summer's The Love Haters, which I loved, no pun intended. She also wrote the rom-commers The Bodyguard, Hello Stranger, What You Wish For, How to Walk Away, Happiness for Beginners, and the book I'm currently reading, which is Things You Save in a Fire. I am absolutely loving this book. Her newer books are more of lighthearted rom-com romances, whereas before she had romances that felt like it leaned a little more into literary fiction, like partly women's fiction, literary fiction, romance. But I love all of them nonetheless. She is an incredible writer, and I will eat up anything she writes. Her books are all so heartwarming. I'm so excited that there's a new one coming out. Jojo Burton has always been bad at love. She's decided to end her bad streak at her sister's destination wedding on a cruise ship. She believes she needs to find closure with her childhood neighbor, the man who was her first crush and her first kiss. Because her sister is a little busy at the moment, she gets her childhood best friend, Cooper Watts, the man who left without a word 4 years ago and was her biggest heartbreak, to help with the mission. Through their crazy antics to get JoJo and her first crush together, the two reunite and start to gain feelings for each other. All right, this is number 7, Score by Kennedy Ryan. She is very well loved in the romance community. Score will be published as well on March 19, just like The Shippers. So that will be a very exciting day this upcoming spring. Kennedy Ryan is the author of the Skyland series and Real, the first book in the Hollywood Renaissance series. Score will be the second book featuring a new couple in the Hollywood Renaissance series. Verity Hill and Wright monk Bellamy are still haunted more than a decade later by their young love coming to an end. After their breakup, they pave the way to their individual success. Verity becomes a screenwriter and Monk a musician. They're both given the opportunity to work on the project of a lifetime, a Harlem Renaissance film. Verity is writing the script, and Monk is creating the score. But that means they'll have to work together if they want to reach a whole new level of success. Number 8 is Whistler by Anne Patchett. arguably the most well-known, renowned author on this list. She wrote titles such as her most recent book, Tom Lake, other than, of course, Whistler that's coming out now, but also titles such as Bel Canto and The Dutch House. The Whistler is a literary fiction book, and it's going to be published this next summer on June 2. There is a glimpse into Whistler. Daphne Fuller unexpectedly reunites with Eddie Triplett, the man who was married to her mother for only a year when she was 9. Though they only knew each other for a brief time, their impact on one another was profound. They reunite and think about their past, about love and loss, and about how being known by someone can change everything. The 9th book is It Could Have Been Her by Lisa Jewell. That is another mystery and thriller from one of the queens of the mystery and thriller genres, Lisa Jewell. This novel will be published on June 23rd. Lisa Jewell has written a lot of mystery and thrillers, but she's most known for her book Then She Was Gone, which I have, and I have read it, and I can easily say this book is one of the wildest things I have ever read. But she's also written other novels that have become major successes, such as None of This Is True and Don't Let Him In. Here's a little bit of what this new book will be about. Jane Trevelyan is walking her dogs when she comes across a small white dog she knows belongs to a teenage girl staying nearby. When she can't find the girl, she brings the dog back to its owner hours away in London. She realizes when she arrives that the owner lives in the same house she has a dark past with. Through the window, she expects to see the girl, but only sees a haunting woman. And now, finally, we are to the 10th and final book, Meat Bees. And this one is a bit interesting because it is by Dane Erbick, which I actually had not heard of before I saw the title Meat Bees. Meat Bees is not his debut novel, as he wrote Friday Night at Humble House. Meat Bees is, however, the first time he's caught the attention of so many anxiously waiting readers, which makes it so difficult that this one is the farthest down the line for when it'll be published on August 4th. Here's a glimpse into this horror novel. Scarlett Sutton is forced to live with her dad during the summer because her mom finally went to a hospital for her mental health. By the time she gets there, however, 2 locals have been eaten alive by wasps. She gets caught in the middle of the investigation when she comes across a corpse. The police are in over their heads, so when one of the employees at her new job goes missing, Scarlett and her coworkers set out to solve the mystery, not knowing they're on their way toward man-eating wasps. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for sticking around until the end. I really appreciate it. Links to books mentioned are in the description, as I said before, and you can find where else I'll be on the internet there as well. Press the like button if you liked, and subscribe if you want to see more. I will see you next week in another video, but until then, have a good day and goodbye.